So every year in central Pennsylvania and here in Harrisburg, we're dealt with a lot of fires around Christmas time. And a lot of the fires that we're dealt with that we see cause tons of injuries, and on occasion we've had several deaths throughout central Pennsylvania that are a direct result of our holiday decorating. I want to go over a couple of things today to keep in mind as we continue decorating for the holidays, as we're pulling those ornaments out, as we're thinking about our Christmas trees, and as we're looking at candles and things like that, the things that we can do to better protect ourselves and our families from the devastation of fire that we so often see. A couple of things, as we go out and buy and pick up Christmas decorations, we want to make sure that we're looking for the UL listings or Intertech, and I'll show that to you up close here. When we're looking at these, we know that these have went through Consumer Product Safety Commission. We know that they've went through testing and that they're safe for us to use here in the United States. If we're out buying things like this at a flea market or at one of those roadside stands, we need to be very cautious about these markings, because that is where those illegal pieces that aren't listed with UL or Intertech are sold at. And those are the things that are dangerous, that create significant fires and safety issues for us here in the United States. A couple other things as we look at decorations, when we look at our warning labels, it's going to tell us how many of these we're able to put together. The reason we need to look at that and pay attention to that is the more we chain those together, the longer that electricity has to go through, and the more electrical demand is on those first lights that are plugged into the outlet, and it's going to overheat those and cause a fire. And we'll look at a couple of photos here of what that actually looks like as they start to smolder. Also, we need to pay attention to using extension cords, and it's fine to use extension cords for our lights and everything that we're decorating with. One thing that we see all too often, many fires here in Harrisburg particularly, as it deals with space heaters and air conditioners, which we're not using today, but as we're dealing with space heaters, is we have a three-prong outlet or three-prong cord, and we want to try and put it into our two-prong outlet. So we buy these little adapters that essentially take the grounding potential away from our piece of equipment that we're plugging in, whether that's a space heater or whatever, and that is a cause for a short and overloading of the extension cord. And we see tons of fires. The picture here on the right is exactly what happened there. We had a grounded piece of equipment that used an adapter into the wall. It overheated at the wall and caused a fire. Again, so steer clear of these. Make sure you're only plugging a few things, a few lights, Christmas lights and things in. This extension cord and a space heater never go together. We never want to put these together. That is a cause for a disaster almost every time. We see it time and time again, 15, 20 fires every year here in Harrisburg because of this combination. Please make sure that you're not plugging those space heaters into an extension cord. They need to go right into the wall outlet. As we look at some other things that we do for decorations, candles obviously are a fairly common theme around, not only Hanukkah, but for Christmas, for New Year's celebrations. And we want to make sure that we don't have our flammable decorations around our candles. We also want to make sure that our candles have a firm base to them. Make sure that whenever you light the candles, that they're on a firm surface. The children are away from them, your pets are away from them, and we don't leave the room once we light the candle. Also often, the cat comes along, decides it wants to get up on the table, we knock the candle over, we have a fire, right? Also, make sure, and this may sound a little crazy, but inspect your candles. This one is starting to get a little bit of a bend to it. These are meant to burn straight up and down. This will start to drip over the side, and we have the potential that we could have a fire again starting to burn around the base. We've seen, and just recently we had a fire that was a result of a candle burning on a table, smoldered for a couple of hours until it had enough energy, and then ended up having a small room and contents fire. So please be wary of lighting candles. Stay with them. Make sure that you're with them all the time after you've lit that candle. As we look at everything that we've talked about, from electrical safety to our lights to our decorations, the big thing that I hope that everybody will remember this holiday season is make sure that you have a working smoke alarm and a working carbon monoxide alarm in your home. If you live in the city of Harrisburg and you don't have smoke alarms, please call us. Let us come out and install these for you. We want to protect you and your family the best we can from fire this holiday season. And our gift to you is free smoke alarms to keep you and your family safe and alive. You can reach out to us on the city website simply by going under the Fire Bureau or calling our Fire Bureau office at 717-255-6464. We also want to talk about trees, and we're going to look at a video that was put out by the National Fire Protection Association on how fast trees burn. It is important. Most of us already have our trees up. Make sure that you keep that thing watered. It is important to keep water in that tree so that it continues to stay moist and not a fire hazard. Once that thing dries out, you will see how quickly these go up in flames. And it's important to note that our houses, as closely spaced as they are here in Harrisburg, with smaller rooms than we typically see in the suburbs, and the materials that we have in our homes, the chairs, the sofas and everything, this fire will trap you on the second floor before your smoke alarm will even go off. That's how fast these Christmas tree fires go up. So literally in less than 30 seconds, the room becomes untenable. And what you're not seeing is the smoke and products of combustion that are rising, going to the upper floors of the home, which are going to trap you in those upper bedrooms of your house. And just to show you, as mundane as it sounds, making sure you water that tree daily, how slowly this fire actually progresses, because the wood is moist, the needles remain moist, and it's unable to burn because of the greenness of the wood. Think about a campfire. We put dry wood on a campfire. We don't go out and cut a green tree down and put on because it just doesn't burn. That's exactly what we see with the Christmas tree as well.